Welcome back to the Kokomo Home Show. My name is Jason, and I have my friend Dylan here with Ace Exteriors and Restorations. And Dylan, thanks for being part of the show.
Yeah, appreciate having me.
Yeah, no, well, he's here, and he wants to meet you guys, and we're going to talk about why you need to meet him. And so down here at the Markland Mall. Now, Dylan, you're just down here on the south side of the mall, right?
Yeah.
South side of the mall. They've got a nice booth. It displays some of their stuff, and we're going to get into that here in just a little bit. But Dylan, so when did you start your company? How did that start?
Yeah, so I guess a little origin behind how and why I started it. So I've always been in the service industry.
Okay.
From a very young age, started as a real estate agent at 19. I transitioned into selling cars with Button Motors and McGonigal.
Yeah.
Until I found my true calling, in the roofing industry. So worked down in Indy for a roofing company for about 4 years, a little over 4 years, and worked myself through the entire company and just figured, Kokomo needed this, and I felt the need here in the local community, and decided, what if I just branch off and do it up here?
Yes.
And so that's why.
Yeah, so you call it a calling.
Yeah, it's a passion. Yeah,
it's a passion.
Sure.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, you got to have a passion to be in this industry, especially a home service industry, because sometimes it can be challenging, and small businesses. So, kind of just learning from others, and then taking your entrepreneurial spirit and pushing it out there. That's awesome.
That's exactly what it is.
So, what are you said Kokomo, and you learned from Indy and some of those things. Do you focus? Where do you go?
Yeah. So. We're trying to stay local as much as possible. So the Kokomo community is huge for us, but we are branched out, into more of a central Indy area, Indianapolis area. But nonetheless, we want to try to stay local. So Kokomo, Tifton, Sheridan, Rushville, Greentown, Peru.
But if you have a client, and I'm going to name our client Mary Smith, but if Mary Smith, because Mary Smith there's any Mary Smith, right?
They're all over the place.
So Mary Smith has hired you, you've re-roofed her house, and she's got a client friend in Greencastle whose name is Mary Smith as well. You would maybe go do her project.
100%.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, we're here to help people. We're here to take care of everyone. So that's what we advocate is friends and family. We want those referrals. So no matter where they're at, I'm going to help. If it's down in Texas, maybe not. But here in Indiana, definitely.
But if it's in Florida, Clearwater, and there's a beach close, maybe
we
we'll
take
go
a little
there.
trip down there.
I might go paint it for you.
Right, there we go.
We'll call it a vacation.
Yeah.
Awesome. So I know you've got some stuff here, but if a person comes and they want to get an estimate for some of their exterior stuff, their roof, what are the things that they should be getting, or that you're serving them with, and are those estimates free?
Yeah. So first things first, once you contact us, we kind of find a time that's going to work best for our client, right? Ultimately, with summer hours coming up, we can work all the way out to 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night. It just depends if there's sun out, right? When I go out to a property, I'm going to do a full inspection. I've always been trained in storm restoration, so I do a lot of insurance work. So when I go out, I treat it as almost like an adjuster coming out to the property. So I'm going to look at all your downspouts, your gutters, your siding, windows. Anything that I would be concerned about on my own home, I'm going to document that so that way I can bring it to their attention. At that point, I go over everything I find and then guide them in the direction they want to go. If they just want to take care of their roof, I'll give them a free estimate at that point. Give them all the photo documentation so that way they have it for their records. Even if I'm not doing their gutters, they're still going to get photos of all that information.
Nice. So it's a process of kind of educating the client maybe where their house is. And one of the things I think about as a business owner is, yes, I want to serve the owner of the home, but then I also, this is my weird thinking, is I also want to serve the home in itself is like a client.
It really is.
You have the client, the person who lives there, right? They're a steward of that building, which is their home or their house. And so you have to serve, because there have been times when, I can think of several times where we've gone and painted a house, it's sold to somebody else, now I'm painting that house again.
Yeah, exactly.
And so if you don't treat that roof or whatever right in the first place, then it's, you know what I'm saying? So there's real value in seeing that. Go ahead.
I was going to say, at the end of the day, people may come and go, but the property is still going to be there, right?
Right.
And the way I look at it, especially roofing protects 90% of the property. So we want to make sure that it's done right. All your flashings are changed. Everything's brought up to code. That's what's really important. I don't see myself as a salesperson. I'm I advocate, and I see myself almost like a financial advisor just for roofing. So you come to me with your issues, and I'm going to guide you in the right direction through all the murky water. I'm going to be your guy.
And your home is a massive investment, so a financial advisor investment. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Let's get into some of your products you brought here.
All right.
So what you got?
So first thing I got here is our Atlas shingle.
Okay.
So we've paired up with Atlas, and I'm the type of person that I can't advocate for something if I can't stand behind it.
Yep.
And with Atlas shingle, I just fell in love with their product.
Okay.
So to kind of differentiate this from other products, it's going to start off with a 6-inch exposure, which means the shingle itself is going to be a little bit longer. So it's kind of like with siding. Typically, your siding that's going to have a little bit more value is going to be a little bit elongated.
Okay.
Same thing.
Okay.
So from a distance, it's going to look great.
Yeah.
Another thing is I will only put class 3 or more on a shingle, on a roof. So right now I see a lot dealing with insurances. They're going to different policies because of all the hailstorms and windstorms that are in the area.
Okay.
So it's important for me to put a quality product up there that's going to be hail impact resistant.
Right.
And then I also have upgraded on that as well for like class 4, where it's up to 2 inches of hail.
Right.
You know, we don't normally get that, but I know Greentown got that, I think last year. So you never know.
Yeah.
One nice thing as well is that it starts off at 130 mile per hour wind rating.
Wow.
Right. So in the state of Indiana, we get wind all the time.
Right.
I mean, so we could get a windstorm that just pops up out of nowhere that's hitting 70 miles per hour.
Yep.
This is going to protect you.
That's nice.
So that's why I really fell in love with
this obviously is one color. You have probably lots of colors.
We do. Yeah. Just in this model alone, the Pristine, we have about 14 different colors.
Nice. Nice. Okay. What else do we have here?
Yeah. So this right here goes hand in hand with our shingle. So most shingle manufacturers are going to have about 3 to 5% copper granules. So what that means is if you've ever looked at a roof and you saw the discoloration where part of the roof looks light, part of the roof looks dark, it's because it's building algae. So what Atlas has done is they paired up with Scotchgard. So if you go with one of our shingles, it's going to be lifetime algae resistance.
Okay.
So they add about at least 10 to 13% of copper granules throughout the entire shingle. So that way you don't actually have any kind of discoloration.
You know, after owning, I've lived in 2 houses in Indiana, or besides the ones I rented. You know, you want to make sure that roof lasts.
Yeah.
And you know, I mean, things happen, storms happen, and then you get that replacement. I had a tree fall on my front porch one time, you know, so I had to replace then. But you want to make, I mean, as long as you can. So what kind of warranties come with your services? And we can talk about this if you want to.
Yeah, so with the shingle itself, it's going to come with a lifetime limited warranty from the manufacturer.
Okay.
It's going to start off with a 15-year, 100% labor and materials for any manufacturer defects.
Okay.
And then I have warranties that can offer up to 25%, 100%, and then it's prorated for the next 25 years.
Nice.
So it's a really good warranty. And then all my stuff, I do a 5-year workmanship warranty.
Okay.
For the roofing components, 2 years for siding, 1 year for gutters, and 1 year for windows.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, excellent. And you're on your gutters, are you installing aluminum gutters?
Yep.
Is that
They're going to be aluminum 6-inch gutters.
6-inch? Wow.
Yeah. So
that's great.
So you're going to get
take a lot of water.
Yeah, a little bit more water flow, and then the downspouts are going to be larger as well. So 3 to 4 inches.
3 to 4. Yep. That's
So.
great. What about here?
So this is a product that I absolutely love. It's called the Allside Ascend product. So Allside makes it. It's going to give you the 7-inch exposure, kind of like if you've ever seen like Hardy board or LP siding. It's going to be very similar to that.
Looks like that.
Yeah. So it gives you that high quality look, but it's also a maintenance-free vinyl. With
the insulation backing. That's nice because, I mean, you have your foam or your plywood, then you have your whatever insulation on the inside, but that just gives another. I mean, why not use that space to insulate it?
Exactly. Yeah, because too many times I see where the wind is flapping and you can hear, even with the foam board behind it, there's still going to be a space in between there. And with this, you know, it helps with, you know, HVAC system with heating and cooling, but also noise reduction.
Yep.
So I absolutely love this product. It gives you that high quality look with the maintenance-free, you know, vinyl
Yeah, I need to make sure I have that noise reduction as loud as I play my music.
Oh, yeah.
All right, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, good show and tell. That's great.
Yeah,
so what separates you?
I think it's our passion.
Yeah.
You know, how we care about our homeowners. We treat everyone like family.
Yeah.
You know, we treat every home as if it's our own home. So like we're really big in the Kokomo community, and we want to express that and let people know that we're here for them. We want to give high quality products at a great price, and know that if they ever needed anything,
Yep.
we got their back.
All right, you said it. He's got a calling, he's got a passion. I have a passion about our non-for-profit that's right next door to us.
Yeah.
The Kokomo Urban Outreach Program, the UP program. I don't know if you've been to their facilities. They're getting a new building, but I want you sometime to connect with Deanna and go visit.
Okay.
Their kids are incredible. I went and did a huddle, and it's like a 45-minute little thing where I got to talk about my business.
Yeah.
And the way I envision it is someday maybe those kids come work for me.
Right.
You know, someday they're going to come work for you.
Yeah.
You know, or they might start their own business, but they're doing an incredible job teaching them work ethic, you know, simple things, picking up sticks, raking, and all that stuff. And so as they have a mission, a calling, you could say, like you did, to go from 300 kids to 1,000 kids. Okay. And it takes about $2,400 annually to reach each kid. And so, I'm going to call you to go visit and see if you can learn more about them. And
yeah, I will.
I think you'll be marketing to those kids someday. They'll all own homes. You'll be putting their roofs on. So
oh yeah,
that's
long
awesome.
Term.
Well, I appreciate you being at the show.
Yeah, appreciate you.
And guys, come visit and get a quote for any of your exteriors from Dylan here at Ace Exteriors. So
thank you.
Thanks.
Hey, it was a pleasure.
Yep.